Today, we are going to discuss with academic researchers, but as well field experts, about the relationship between social media and hate crimes and violence, real world violence.
There is a heavy concentration of research that is focused more on Europe and the US, but arguably the greatest threats are posed in those countries which have kind of a fragile political context or already have an ongoing civil war. So I'm colored a little bit by my own experience in Myanmar, where I ran our operations for 7 years, which in many ways is kind of ground zero for what we see happening online against the Rohingya, serving as an amplifier and creating a kind of permissive environment for the Myanmar army to take the action that they did against them, which led to many hundreds of thousands fleeing and many thousands being killed.
Social media can bring a lot of disinformation, extremism, polarization, divisions, as we see in hate speech and violence.
You know, there is a general feeling in the Western world that tech companies have too much power, government regulation is necessary.
We can think more about how constructive dialogue online, for instance, can contribute in some way to offline peace. And in particular, in terms of mass nonviolent campaigns, so big, large protest movements, right? Social media content has played a very, very important role. For instance, in Tunisia, social media really enabled activists to supersede media censorship, government censorship overall, report on regime repression, and really facilitate all kinds of intergroup collaboration, forming the movement to oust Ben Ali.
Algorithms on social media platforms tend to work in such a way that they feed you like-minded content. Now, reducing this like-minded component in these algorithms could potentially prevent these negative effects of echo chambers.
So they rely on AI, but it's difficult for artificial intelligence. For example, if you were to think of individual words, right, which you might regard as offensive, how do you distinguish between a critical use of that word and a satirical use of that word, right? When it comes to problematic speech online, that's nuanced and context dependent, right? And so the idea that you can automate it is quite hard, especially, you know, when you're looking at very different cultures in different languages.
Here we look at the changes in hate crime around Donald Trump's presidential run. And while these counties showed very similar trends in hate crime before his presidential run, with the start of Donald Trump's campaign, we now see this uptick in anti-Muslim hate crimes, in counties with many Twitter users, in line with his story.
My hope is that by engaging with those who are responsible for some of this negative online speech, we can work out ways to sort of try to, if not stop the problem at source, try to limit it somewhat.